Welcome to the Grandstand Golf Podcast. This is the weekend golf update for the 2021 Valspar Championship. I am your host, Adam Bapty, and as always, I'm joined by my brothers, Craig.
Hey.
And Kevin.
Hey.
Ooh, that was a little bit longer. Might be better. I don't know. What's going on, bros? Guys, sometimes when we got some reviews coming in, we like to kick it off with a couple of reviews for the podcast. We got a couple this week. First one, the title is Excellent Banter and Stats. I love how they use their stat model to help them make quality picks and take strong stances for or against players in a given week. That's from Timmy.
Whether or not those strong stances are right, you don't know, but
I think that just might be the fact that we're opinionated in general.
Yeah, especially when we disagree on a player.
Yeah, exactly. The second one is titled Great Work. You can tell these guys put in a lot of time and research to find nice DraftKings plays. That's from KGrow11111. Thank you for the reviews. If it's your first time listening or you're a long time listener, first time caller, hit that 5-star, hit that thumbs up, leave some reviews. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, leave some comments. We always appreciate it. We appreciate the followers and listeners every week. So thank you guys for joining us again. Having said that, Craig, do you want to give a little recap of the Valspar?
Yeah, well, 24-year-old Louisiana native Sam Burns gets it done. A big, I would say, breakthrough win. It's going to take him up to his highest ranking ever on the official World Golf Rankings. So this is, I think, long overdue. It's been well talked about that Burns had been, this is the third tournament this year that he had been 54-hole leader at. The Houston Open, the Genesis, which Max Homa came from behind to win. So this, today, Sunday, he had Max Homa one back going into Sunday. It was a little scary, but he did what he had to do. Obviously, Keegan Bradley was right there with him until the 13th hole, and then things went sideways for him. But, this is one I think that, Adam, you have been talking about a lot, that this is due. I was looking into Sam Burns' history. He was a stud. He, as a junior golfer, he was a stud. As a college player, he was a stud. I think it's just been a matter of time till he's taken this next step. And it seems like he's been around almost longer than he has once I looked into it.
Right.
He only turned pro in 2017, and then he had an injury. So it's not like, it's just he's flashed up leaderboards essentially ever since he turned pro. Yeah. But the one thing, so that he's got 3 seasons where he has enough rounds to be in the strokes gained categories for the season-long rankings. He has one stat that he's top 30 in each of those 3 years. Do you guys want to guess what that is?
This is a pop quiz? Okay, yeah, I'll go first. I think
quiz.
It's strokes gained off the tee.
Kevin?
That's what I would have said, but I think you're tricking us. So I'm going to say strokes gained, approach to green.
It is strokes gained putting.
Oh.
Which really surprised. He seems like a good putter, but I never would have thought that consistently, that would bear out in the stats over that long of a period of time, which makes a lot of sense as to why he's always flashing up leaderboards like this.
It doesn't really, it's not what you think of, though, when you think of Sam Burns.
Yeah, I think sort of like a bomber.
Yeah, me too.
Well, he's also one of these guys, even with his success early in tournaments, with how golf broadcast is, he's not a regular in feature groups or, it isn't until he's in contention that we see him. And then lately, when he's been in contention, he's been missing putts because he's been falling back, So you get a really small sample size of what you
don't see all the putts he made to get into contention.
Yeah, usually.
Are you saying he doesn't have a very high PIP score?
I don't know. There's some guys that moved up the PIP.
It might be going up now.
But yeah, he's only 24, right? So we kind of get spoiled with these guys that come onto the tour and have immediate success, especially with kind of this new crop of players. But yeah, he's a great young talent.
Yep. So his highest ranking had been 78. He's currently ranked 94th. They don't have the updated numbers for us. So he's definitely going to jump above that. He'll be moving up to his highest level. He actually hasn't played in that many majors. He only has 3 major starts. He doesn't have a major start since 2019 PGA Championship. So this one is going to unlock some doors for him as well.
And he kind of, to me, has that profile as a guy that would pop on those kind of leaderboards. It is kind of that, maybe
the harder the course
hitter.
is, I think the better he's going to play.
Yeah, longer course, tougher setup, good putter. That seems to be a great formula to kind of get some top tens in majors.
I mean, there are a lot of similarities.
Yeah, well,
between, like you said, between this and like the Genesis, very difficult setups, hard, firm, fast. That's typically how they set up majors too, right? So, they're courses he's played well on.
Yeah, I completely agree. I feel like Craig is stunned now. I don't know if we lost him or something. Craig.
No, I've lost you, Adam. So I don't know what's going on here, but I'm assuming Kevin was saying that he's playing well on hard courses. I got you back now, Adam. We're all good. Double thumbs up. Played hard courses, Riv. I think Houston Open also. That's a hard course they're playing there. So I do think he is going to be a player we see contending in majors for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay, down the stretch, it's kind of anticlimactic. As soon as Keegan put that one in the water on that par 3, I guess there was 3 entering the day, right? There's a kind of that 3-pack: Sam Burns, Keegan Bradley, Max Homa. But kind of on the back 9, it was down to the 2 in the final group with Keegan Bradley and Sam Burns. What do you guys think of Keegan Bradley this week? Did he choke? First thoughts, Kevin? What do you think?
I don't really think he choked. I mean, like, let me put it this way: did either of you guys think that Keegan Bradley was going to win?
Actually, yeah, he was my pick on her after round 3.
I think he had a really good shot. I mean, he's an awesome ball striker. He's a hot and cold putter. I would say he didn't choke though, because essentially it wasn't a good shot. But he tried to take Burns had hit it into not a great position on the green, but a green in regulation, and he tried to take on the pin, and he kind of just fanned it looked like, and it came up short, and unfortunately came up short in a place you can't come up short and right, and it was a couple feet from carrying, but it didn't, and essentially that was the tournament.
Yeah, I don't think he choked, because to be honest, I thought it was kind of Burns was in the driver's seat. Having been there so many times this year, like you just talked about, Craig, you learn things from those opportunities. And I think Burns, the way he got out of the gates today, he kind of took control early. Keegan did battle back kind of mid-round there to pull even, but I still felt it like Burns was the guy to beat at that point. So I think Keegan needed to keep his foot on the gas pedal.
I definitely felt the same way at Riviera with Burns, where he was so solid, and then people kind of just outplayed him. So I do think that it was there for Keegan to take, because he was at 17 under going into 13, and ultimately, if he plays in from there at 1 under, then he could take it. But to me, it's obviously it's a tough course. It's easy course to make bogeys on, make big numbers on. So I'm not calling it a joke either.
I don't think it's a joke.
To be perfectly honest, I might be wearing completely different goggles because I picked Bradley Saturday night, but I kind of thought he was in the driver's seat. I was kind of in and out, had a cranky daughter today, so I was trying to... coverage was on, but sometimes I get distracted, get hit with a ball in the face or whatever.
Maybe it was one of those learner's cars that has 2 driver seats, so it's really hard to tell.
Maybe.
And then Burns just took control. But yeah, up until then, I kind of thought, the Burns narrative of this year would play out, and Keegan Bradley, the more veteran, who actually was coming in with decent form. Not spectacular, but he's been playing well, hitting the ball well. Would prevail down the stretch, and in the water and a double, and that kind of quickly changed it. So the third guy that we kind of talked about there was Max Homa. He got a birdie on 1, and before these guys even got to the green on 1 or had a chance to score, he was tied. But then he followed that up with the bogey on 3 and a bogey on 8, and kind of got his way out of it. I'll pass it again to you, Kevin, because you're the Homa guy here. What happened with Homa? What happened with Homa on Sunday? Did you think after that huge putt on Saturday that he had quite more momentum coming into Sunday?
Absolutely, I did.
That was a big.
That was a huge putt.
Hole.
Yeah, because I
thought he was in bogey town on that 18th.
I would say between midday Friday and the end of the round Saturday. So midday Friday, Max had got himself to, I think through 9 holes, he'd got himself to 10 under. So through 27 holes of the tournament. And then he kind of fell back a little bit. He was a few clear. That was prior to Burns and Keegan teeing off in the afternoon wave. So Homa was a couple clear. And he ended up falling back to about 8 under par. And I think he maybe finished at 9, maybe 10. Anyways, he was further back than it seemed like he could have been with he had been dropping bombs early in the tournament. Like, he was making unbelievable.
Yeah, I was going to say his putting carried him through, especially the first day when he didn't really have anything else going that great. Like, his ball striking wasn't bad, but he wasn't lighting it up, and he was absolutely killing it with it. Yeah.
And then on Saturday, so he was still there's a gap between Burns and Bradley. And everybody else, including Homa. And then by the end of Saturday, with that bomb on 18 and both those guys bogeying 18, he ended up closing like a 3-shot gap to a 1 overnight. So yeah, I thought, having coming off of a victory this year with that confidence, knowing he can get it done, I definitely thought he was, I'm a homer like you were saying, but I kind of thought he was the one to beat. But he just really didn't get it going today. Like, he had that birdie on 1, like you said. I think the bogey on 3 was a huge momentum killer. And yeah, I mean, he had a few pretty good looks right around 10 feet for birdie that he missed, kind of mid-round, that maybe could have got him, in the right direction. And by the time he made a bogey and a double coming in, it was kind of too little too late. It was already out of reach. But he just never really got it going today, unfortunately.
Yeah, you can't kind of wait until the last handful of holes to get your scoring in. You kind of just have to hold on, survive with the snake pit.
Yeah.
You did kind of have the feeling, though, if it was close, that Homa would be the freest of the 3. Because Keegan hasn't won, I think, since 2018. Burns obviously looking for the first win. Homa, he's coming off, besides maybe a major, the biggest win for him that he could get, being his home course at the Genesis. So if he had been in contention here, I think he would have just been like, it would have been carefree. But yeah, it didn't happen for him. He kind of just didn't have it today. At
this point this season, it almost seems like in a tournament like this, Homa's kind of playing with house money, having already got the win this year. Like he's had a good year regardless of anything else that happens. So another victory would just be kind of icing on the cake. So
I completely
that would free
agree.
him up. Anyway.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I will admit I've been wrong on Homa. I've admittedly called him kind of, a PGA pro, like just kind of he's going to have his card for a long time and get a couple of wins, but a really good pro. But he continues to impress week in, week out. And he might be one of these guys that gets pretty high in the official world golf ranking, threatens majors. I think I undersold him a little bit, and he's proven me wrong in a big way because he keeps showing up again and again.
I thought maybe his form had fallen off a bit because he had, he played really well even after the West Coast swing. He played well at the concession. He played well at the Arnold Palmer, and then he'd missed cuts at the Players, and then he just missed out in the match play of advancing, and then he missed the cut at the Masters. So I thought we were maybe
like tight. All those were within a probably.
They were, but compared to what he had been doing preceding that, I thought we were like, okay, like maybe a little bit of the magic's worn off. We see golfers get into month-long stretches where they're just kind of on a heater. But I think, maybe we're just seeing that he has a little bit more game than we have seen up until these, last 3 or 4 months.
The thing that would have actually, that I started thinking when I saw him in contention is that another win for him this year would kind of make things pretty interesting as far as, Ryder Cup, that kind of thing for him.
Yeah.
But,
like Stuart Sinks got his spot. You think after a second win, Home was going to get his? Is that everything? Okay, other notables in the field, Justin Thomas. His ball striking was outrageous. Led the field, led the tournament in off the tee and approach strokes gained. His putter was so ice cold, guys.
He had a silly tournament. It was a silly tournament.
Okay, over to you, Craig. Give us a little JT update here. What do you take away with that?
Well, absurdly leading the field, both off the tee and on approach. And then, as bad as it can get with the putter. I think he ended up losing over 6 strokes with his putter, while he gained over, I had it open here before, but, tee to green, he was plus 3.3 around.
Yeah, around.
So,
that's absurd.
Yeah, it was really absurd. But, I mean, the takeaway is we've kind of seen spells of, for me at least, we've seen spells of this with JT where his putter, like last summer for a little while, his putter was cold. Maybe not this cold, but kind of kept him when he was in contention from closing the deal. And I think this is kind of the one thing maybe that is keeping JT from being clear number one in the world. You know, if you want to say that, if his putter.
If you're only listening right now, you don't have the video. Kevin and I are both going with their faces a little bit. Number one in the world. Craig, are we saying that?
Clear number one. Is that what we're calling him now?
Well, so we've got kind of, well, I don't even know. We can talk about DJ in a sec, but to me right now, we've got DJ, Rom, and JT are a little bit in terms of their performance, a little bit up there, and Rom definitely being the better putter, I would say, of the three. And JT is over the past 2 years, he's breaking even with his putter. If he could be gaining, meanwhile, he's leading tee to green by a good amount. So if he could be gaining strokes with his putter reliably, I think you can make a good claim he's locking down the number one spot.
So last week, you're pretty big on Rom. So I'd like you to.
So Rom for me would be number one right now. But I'm saying JT, if JT tightened up his, like Rom over the last 2 years is gaining over a half stroke with his putter.
Yeah. So where do you think JT excels beyond Rom though?
Approach. I mean, JT is the best in the world. I'd
say. I didn't know if you'd recognize it as well.
No, but I mean, over the last 6 months, JT's been slightly better putter than Rom's been absurd. I know we're going to a guy that didn't even play the tournament, but his last stretch of golf here has been absurd.
Rom's short game blows me away. Every time I see him on TV, it's
But you know what? That actually, JT's short game, we were looking through this, and his short game is really, really good.
It's very crisp.
It's just his putter. Like his around the green play has been great. He was 15th, I think, this week in strokes gained around the green. It's just been the putter that it's inconsistent.
Okay, well, we did have the number one golfer in the world in this tournament. DJ made the cut.
My pick to win.
And then kind of did nothing else. Yeah, Kevin, over to you. What are we taking away from DJ after, a stellar kind of wraparound and then kind of going cold?
So, well, okay, let's call it what it is. DJ could do this, he could miss the cut, or he could win. Just as easily, and there's no rhyme or reason coming in. It doesn't matter of his form. I was like, okay, yeah, DJ kind of seems like he hasn't done anything for a while. He'll probably win. That's why I picked him to win. Like,
it's just sort of uninspired.
It is uninspired, and that's when DJ doesn't win.
Time out. When does DJ inspire you with his words or his actions or anything?
With his actions, man.
Besides, like his specific golf shots. Like, come on.
Well, the guy's a natural with a golf club in his hand.
Well, yeah. I mean, anytime he doesn't win, it looks uninspired. But when he does, you're like, how can he not win every time?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and that's the thing is that like when he is playing his best, he makes it look so easy that when he plays like this, you're like what's wrong? Like, I don't get it. How can he make it look so easy?
It looks like he just doesn't care.
Yeah,
what
why
everybody
didn't he
says.
hit a better shot there? We know he hits better shots than that.
Where did he even finish? I'm scrolling down. I
he
found
was 2
Zach
under.
Johnson, T48.
T48.
Just to be clear, I'm not saying he doesn't care, but that's the way he looks, and that's the slam everybody always has on him. Is like, what? Oh, obviously DJ doesn't even care. He's just playing out the string here.
Yeah. So unpacking it a little bit more. He hit the ball fine off the tee. He gained almost a stroke around off the tee. His approach play was fine. He's better than that, but he gained almost a half stroke in approach. And then his scoring game was bad. He lost 0.9 per round with his putting and short and around the green play. So I mean, really, DJ when he's hot has even better ball striking numbers than that, I think. But he just wasn't converting things. He wasn't it wasn't crisp.
The other thing is DJ can win anywhere, but some of these guys, they just see some of these courses better than other ones. You know what I mean? Like, some of them just fit their eye a little bit more. And I don't know what DJ's history is here, but maybe it just this week
I don't think he has a long history. I think he just has a single start or maybe 2 starts.
You can hit the shot you want into these greens, though, and then it takes a hard bounce and over the green, and all of a sudden, instead of being tight looking at a birdie, you're trying to scramble for par, right? Yeah. So it's really a knife edge that these guys are always playing on.
It is interesting, like the tournament selection that he has, because he's not teeing it up next week at Wells Fargo. Obviously had to do the RBC.
Which you think would be a decent fit for him.
I know he did the RBC Heritage because that's the sponsor. He needs to do that. So it's interesting he didn't go kind of break, and then that one where the other 4 in the top 5 are going. It's just kind of interesting. I don't know why.
Maybe he just knows Rory's so dominant there that he's like, why even bother showing up?
So I'll get this Wells one. Fargo is back at Quails Hall,
less than 20 minutes in, getting to Rory.
Yeah, exactly. That's not even playing Craig. That's a record. Okay, other guys, notables, Viktor Hovland, back in the top 5. Great Sunday. Craig's showdown must be pretty good. I don't know if that's a tease to later in the show where he's going to tell us that he's...
Well, only one of my showdowns, at least today, that was good because the other ones weren't great. But yeah, he had a great day today.
4 straight turnings outside the top 20, and he got a top 5 here. So what are we thinking of Viktor Hovland moving forward here? Go ahead, Craig.
He's pretty good.
Well, so I hope so. Viktor Hovland was on an absolute heater, like early 2021, and then we kind of saw form falling apart a little bit there. Not horribly, but compared to what he was doing. So, man, I'm just hoping. I'm becoming such a Viktor Hovland fan that I'm just hoping that he is getting back into a little bit of heater. Come, we've got I think tournaments. I think he's going to have a good shot at PGA. I think he's a good setup. I think his game sets up well for US Open and PGA Championship. So I would love it if he goes into those tournaments with some good form.
I agree.
I feel like both of you guys are Viktor fans as well, so it's hard not to.
We don't need to be 3 echoes here.
Yeah.
The shirts. Any thoughts on the shirts?
Oh, I loved it. I mean,
yeah,
I checked out the price and it was expensive and I can't afford it, but I definitely. But did he not wear it Thursday and Friday? Because he was.
No, I think they were different colors. I think it was the same print, same pattern, different colors.
Yeah,
Kevin, if you didn't see it was a nice floral arrangement.
I was gonna say it didn't make an impression on me, but I'm trying to dig into that part of my brain that knows I saw it but don't really remember it.
If it shows up in the Costco rack, I'll probably get it there.
Does Kirkland's signature make a version?
But I don't know if it's going to. We need to get a golfer that's entirely sponsored by Kirkland's signature.
Man, they got clubs, they got balls. We got a whole setup there now.
Imagine you had a Kirkland signature ball out there.
Yeah.
The number 1 golf ball by this guy only.
That's how they're gonna roll it back. They're just gonna make everyone play Kirkland signatures.
Yeah.
Buy them in bulk.
Yeah, there's
cost effective.
Oh, I love it. Okay, another top 20 guy in the world that we should talk about. Patrick Reed missed the cut. I was on him this week. Kevin, you're shaking your head. What are thoughts on Patrick Reed missing the cut here?
I just feel bad for all the people that came to the tournament hoping to see him on the weekend and didn't get to watch him. That guy is just choked.
That guy. Yeah. So to me, this is kind of Patrick Reed, he's one of these people that, I also had backed him in DFS this week, but he's one of these guys that, this is a course that sets up well. It's a good fit for him. There's no reason for him to miss the cut. And you could have just as easily felt like he would win this tournament, but you're also, I think, equally unsurprised by a missed cut. It's just that's sort of where Patrick Reed lives for me, that maybe it's just because he's not an elite ball striker. He does it with a lot of short game magic and other things that when it all clicks, he can be great. But then when it's not, it just can be a ho-hum miscut.
He's another one of these guys that tends to play better at hard courses, I think. And this is a hard course, and he kind of didn't play well at all. So a little bit surprising.
Yeah, but I think on that note, and maybe it was the time of year, but this course did not play as hard as
true.
I think we
suspected.
Years, yeah. So,
yeah, I can't get Patrick Reed right. He's kind of frustrating because he wins quite a bit, but I feel like I'm not on him on the right weeks.
Yeah.
I would think this court fits him a lot better than Torrey Pines, but kind of no one was close to him there, and this one he missed the cut. So what do you know?
Something happened. +1 on the final nine holes to miss the cut. That's Patrick Reed's week. A couple honorable. That's kind of our notables here, Craig. Let's talk about some. You got some guys.
Well. So I think a few other guys here up on the leaderboard. We'll be chatting as we go through this, but a couple that I don't know if we'll get back to. Vaughn Taylor tied for 6th. First top 10 since the 2019 RSM Classic. So, that's a good job, Vaughn.
Big stretch, yeah.
Troy Merritt. He was tied for 8th, and it was his first top 10 since the 2020 Barracuda opposite field event. I think he had another top 20 earlier in 2020. So, good top 10 for him as well.
There we go. A couple guys sneaking up in their top 10s.
Yeah.
I don't think that gets him into Wells Fargo, does it? I'm blanking now.
I don't know. No, I think that's for people who are not PGA Tour members.
Right.
The top 10 gets you in.
Yeah. I mean, okay, guys, we're kind of zipping through here. I think it's time for 3 stars. Are we?
Let's do it. Yeah.
3 stars?
Yeah.
3 stars this week. Third star is going to Dean Burmester on the Tenerife Open we were at the Canary Islands again on the European Tour. He shot a 62 on Sunday and won by a pretty dominating 5 strokes. Continues the dominance by South African golfers on the European Tour, with them winning 4 of the last 7 events. So third star is Dean Burmester.
Yeah, he looked. I tuned in for the last couple holes there, and I mean, he was running away with it at that point. It was pretty impressive stuff.
When you have that cushion in 17-18, it feels pretty comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Second star, guys. It's a throwback. It's a throwback Sunday with this one. Mike Weir.
Nice.
Woo.
Nice.
Weirsy. He won his first ever Champions Tour event. I mean, okay, guys, I'm going to be called out here. I didn't even watch it. I'm going to mess up this name. Insperity Invitational. Is that it?
I'm not sure. It was a weather shortened event. I know that.
Yeah, all I remember seeing was clips of rain falling on a golf course all weekend.
Well, speaking of wet, John Daly got wet on 18, opened the door for Weirsy. Weirsy capitalized. It's his first professional win since 2007 at the Fry's Electronic Open, I want to say, PGA Tour event, which has now been evolved into the Safeway Open. So it's been a long time. Weirsy's been playing some good golf. Made the cut at the Masters in November, but has been playing well on the Champions Tour. Seems to have some confidence and been playing well. So
yeah, and I mean the other thing to me that stands out is Weirzy just seems to be like. So if you don't know already, we're all Canadians, so we have a huge soft spot in our heart for Masters winner Mike Weir. But he seems to be in a pretty good place. He's talked about how he had been so hard on himself when he wasn't playing well for a while, and he's just. Maybe similar to Lee Westwood, he's out there, he's enjoying it right now, and probably helps that on the distance right now would be until he hit 50. Distance was such a problem for him on the PGA Tour that he can go out there, he can make birdies, he can compete on the Champions Tour. So I think he's out there, he's enjoying himself. He has had success, and love to see him break through with this win.
Yeah, he was really working on his game, I know, for the last few years there before he turned 50, trying to gear up for those. I mean, on the Champions Tour, obviously the first 5-7 years you're eligible, or that's when you want to make your money.
That's the goal. Yeah.
So, I think he's really tuning up his game, and it's nice to see it paying dividends for sure.
Unless you're Bernard, right?
Yeah. Unless you're Bernard.
It's a 20-year window.
How old's Bernard now?
I don't know.
It's got to be
well into his 60s, though.
I want to say 64. I'll look it up.
I think he's right around there because, yeah.
I think he missed the cut at the Masters in April, though. So
63. Turned 64 this summer.
Maybe Weirs was a little inspired by Brooke. Brooke Henderson got the win. Weirs backed it up.
Yeah.
Good stretch. We talked about the South Africans. It's a good stretch of Canadian golf right now. Really good stretch for Canadian
McKenzie. I think it's maybe somebody else's turn.
Turn? Who we got? Who's stepping up? Yeah. All right. First star. Leaves the door wide open for Sam Burns. Great win. First PGA Tour win. I was looking back. I feel like Sam Burns has been a popular topic on the pod, but going back just recently, I could only find a couple mentions in our stock up, stock down. So he was stock down for me after the Players Championship, where we got +13 in the first 2 days. So maybe that was a little bit of motivation.
Is he one of these guys we've been sniff snap with? Stuck down.
But Kevin called him out as a stock up after the Genesis, getting him, inspired after, maybe not pulling through at the Genesis. Kevin kept it, going in the right direction. He was thinking he was going in the right direction. What's that?
And I gave him a stock up last week.
Oh, did you?
Oh yeah, I thought that's where you're going with that.
No, I completely missed that.
I gave him a stock up after the Zurich.
Oh, know why? You know what happened? I was comparing his results on the official World Golf Ranking with our podcast, going through our notes, and the Zurich doesn't show
Zurich's
up.
not on there.
Yeah.
And I don't have I have a 6-day memory, so that's out.
He carried him and Billy's team, so I gave him a stock up for that. And I thought...
and for putting up with Billy for the weekend.
Putting up with Billy? I mean, this was like a breeze for him.
Yeah, Kevin.
No,
you're right, man.
I was a little bit surprised that he popped as soon as he did, but great to see it.
Yeah, clearly you should be giving stock tips.
You're his hype man now. You're his official hype man. You
I
gotta
hope
join
so.
him on tour.
Yeah.
Hype him up. Max is going to be a little bit jealous, I think.
I know. It's time for me to give Max a little bump.
But I mean, this one's that echoing what Craig said. He had been top 5 at the halfway mark of tournaments 5 times this season. So starting out really strong, finally got it done, got his first win, first star, Sam Burns.
Good on you, Sam.
I mean, I think we've got her covered on Sam Burns. Well deserved. Love to see it.
Do you guys think though that for the trophy they should just have one of those paint cans they have for tee markers? Yes. I love those.
But like full of paint, right? It's got to be like
for sure full of paint. Can you imagine the carnage if that was on a real golf course with like regular everyday hackers?
I've hit a tee marker before on tee in front of me.
Full of paint.
I leave the cap open.
Or like Morikawa when you're lifting the paint can trophy and it falls off and you got like yellow paint on the green. Why didn't we pick green paint?
It was right there.
Yeah, it's right there in front of us. I like that. I think we got to do that. Okay. Moves us on to our DFS Pick segment. This is our pick grid that we send out on Twitter every Wednesday. Follow us on Twitter at Grandstand Golf. I mean, looking through here, I think Craig kind of had the best week here, but let's just go through it a little bit. Winner for me, I picked Sungjae Im. He came 29th. Kevin won Dustin Johnson, 48th. Craig won JT, T13. All middling, kind of just ho-ho move past that unless you guys want to talk about anyone specifically.
No, I'm just trying to quickly get the numbers into the one and done here so that we can make sure we know how much I'm up by.
We got it. Okay, you go away. You try to beat before I get there. Sleeper. Craig won with Chris Kirk, who had a triple bogey on his penultimate hole on Friday and missed the cut. That was ugly. Patton Kazire was my sleeper. I felt like he was going to win it after whatever it was, like 16 holes on Thursday. I thought I was in the money with 150 to 1 on Patton Kazire, but ended up T60. And
I was pretty sure Charles was going to win. Charles Schwartzel was going to win after Friday afternoon when he got himself to 7 under, I believe, and he was right there in the thick of it.
Right there, finished T21. That is the best sleeper, though, of the week from the three of us. For fades, I mean, we got the classic fade bump. We tried to fly close to the sun. A few of us got burnt. Kevin won with Abe Answer with 5th. I won with Louis Oosthuizen for a T8. And Craig had the best fade of the week, for sure. Dustin Johnson, T48. Was it an easy one, picking on the guy that's kind of slumping right now? I don't know. That's for you guys to decide.
Oh, the number 1 in the world? Would you not give me that as a fade? The problem is, I'll keep fading him too, I feel like, right now.
Wow. For the PGA?
I think the next time we see him, eh?
That might be the next time we see him.
Paulina's out wedding dress shopping, so.
Is that why you're fading him?
Yeah, he's stressed, man.
I
know money's not really an issue, but.
Because I got my birdies out there, and I'm tracking.
Adam always gives the social media, whoever's stories are trending, what's going on in the social media world. So it really comes in handy.
Yeah. And one and done. Let's talk one and done. So let's go.
I know where it was from. It was from Doug Gims. Was it being dry cleaned?
No, she was shopping.
Okay.
I like that. That's a deep one. Okay.
That's a deep cut there.
From third to first, one and done. I went with Corey Connors. Kind of seemed like a safe one. He was T21. That will get me what, Craig? What did that give me this week?
That gives you 65,000.
Not too happy about that. Kevin went with Jason Kokrak. T13. Nice finish for Kokrak. Where'd that go?
127,000.
Yeah,
Six
he kind of
figures?
faded there on Saturday, Sunday. He was looking good for a bit.
Yeah, he was. But
Okay.
again, the leader puts a little
Louis
more
Oosthuizen.
space. Yeah. Louis Oosthuizen, 167,000. I feel like Lewis Hamilton out there. You guys are changing your tires, trying to get fastest laps, and I'm just pulling further and further away.
Come on.
That'll go right over Adam's head, but
That reference means nothing to me, but I feel like that was a compliment.
So what's actually happening is in the championship race here, you guys have both had your Grand Prix victories with wins, and I haven't had. I'm just putting along, getting good, solid finishes. We'll see.
you're still in last.
yet?
So.
I'll hit my win at some point here.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's still I'd say we're just past halfway. So
I think
Really?
if we do like one and done for the Olympics and Kevin gets his win there, but it's actually no monetary value. Shoot. But it's really
But you can't put a price on a gold medal.
No.
on Olympic glory. Yeah.
the pride for your country, Kevin. Think about that. Okay, so what's our update here? It looks like Craig is at 5.4 million. I am somehow managing to hold on to second at 4.5 million, 900,000 away from Craig. We need a win here, Kev, and Kevin's right behind me at 4.4 million.
We got some majors left. I'm not worried.
We got a few majors. I got
There's
a
going to be
few
some
major,
big decisions here in the next few months.
major guys in my pocket still.
Yeah, I think Craig's used up quite a bit of his arsenal there, so I think
I'm
he's got
just still
DJ
holding
left,
out
but he's
for Rory
obviously
coming
not
back
high
into
on
form.
DJ.
Yeah, I feel like I might have missed my shot on DJ here.
I don't know when to pull DJ.
I might not even play him. I might even just.
I am so in my head about DJ, about missing out on DJ. I almost just came out of nowhere on Wednesday and pulled DJ this week. Thank goodness I didn't. Oh man, I feel lost with DJ. I don't know what to do. I got a good one for the US Open though. Whew, that is primed and locked and loaded and ready to go. It's gonna blow you guys' mind.
I can't wait.
Yeah, edge of my chair.
I want pins and needles.
Okay, I think that goes to our good bets, bad bets, red bets, green bets. Actually, before that, I want to talk about European Tour races to buy update. Darren Kane took home the weekly win. He had I'm going to mess up this name, even though we talk about him almost every week. Arnaus. Is that right, Craig?
Arnaus? Yeah, something like
Adrian.
that.
He was 8th. He was his captain, so he took home the win. Colm Brown is still the lead. Season-long leader right now.
I have to say, I don't know what happened to me this week in terms of points, but I was pretty disappointed because I went in there to try to change my roster. And yes, I left it too late, but it locks like midnight.
Before.
It locks like well before. So I thought you have, till something like close to tee off time. But no, just in case you're out there in the future, it locks early. So I got the rollover where it plugs in random guys for your people who aren't playing, and they're like,
and you didn't get lucky with
didn't get right. And then I think I had Rozner who just blew up. It was ugly.
Rozner. Okay, anybody have some for this segment?
No, I had one bet this week. It was Max Homa to win. So
Each
at
way?
50 to 1. So at least
Top
it was
10?
interesting. It was fun. I'd spent the money already because I figured it was a done deal. But
yeah, no, I had a good day on, let me think, Saturday showdowns. I missed out on my combinations. I had two lineups that were both high cashes, but one of them still had Lucas freaking Glover in it, who, if you weren't paying attention, was +6 on Saturday. So the fact that it was a high cash with him in it, you could imagine how good everyone else in the lineup was. But yeah, no, so that covered. But I lost Turney Long. Not a bad week, but yeah, definitely could have been better.
Yeah, I kind of had a stinker, to be honest, the whole week. Showdown.
My tournament long sucked.
I got some in Showdown, but Tournament Long was kind of brutal. Like, even though I feel like my core team was pretty good, but yeah, that Friday afternoon in terms of DFS golf was one of the worst we've had. We talked about it on our Friday show with the guys kind of hopping out of the cut. Yeah,
a lot of people missed cuts there that killed tourney longs.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk some. Oh.
No, yeah, that's it. This is just for me. This is both. I think me and you had profitable weeks the week before. This is just one of those ones where you're paying your taxes, make sure you got good bankroll management, so you're not going broke on these weeks. And yeah.
On to Wells Fargo.
It's a long game. on to Wells Fargo.
Yeah. Okay, guys, stock up, stock down. Who wants to kick it off, Craig? Is that you? You going first?
Yeah, sure. I'll go. So, we've spoken about him already. I've got Viktor Hovland going up. I think I didn't have him tournament long. So I think that's why this is a clear stock up for me. But I was starting to think that potentially the form had fallen off. We saw such good play from him early this year. He had a string there where he, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times he was in the top 6 in 7 tournaments. And then he had, 4 straight tournaments where his best finish was at 21st, and the other ones weren't even close to that good. So I'm hoping this is a corner turn. I think it is. He did well in all facets of the game, so it's a stock up for me. I'm jumping quickly back aboard the Viktor Hovland bandwagon.
I have nothing else to say except for I absolutely am as well. I play a little bit.
You never got off, did you?
I don't think I ever got off.
So.
No way.
I'm so just a fickle fair weather guy, I guess. Going down for me, Russell Henley. He was coming to top 10s in 2 of his last 3. He's coming into the week. I think like a lot of people, I liked him this week. There's not a whole lot of reason not to like him. I think just really didn't play that well. I think that I'm really struggling with Russell Henley because he is very much a hot and cold guy where he is getting up there and he's getting good finishes, but he also there's no reason this should have been a miscut. This course I think sets up well for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a stock down. I feel like we always come back to his ball striking, especially his approach play. So yeah, it's just something we'd like to see a little bit more consistency on, I think.
Yeah.
It's fair.
All right, Kevin. Moving up, moving down. Who you got?
I have a couple guys that, are a little bit off my radar typically. But moving up this week, I have Camilo Villegas. So he's maybe on my radar a little bit more as like a nostalgic / feel good story.
Sentimental.
Sort of. Sentimental, exactly. But if you look at what he's done the last kind of 5 tournaments he's been in, he's had 1 miscut in Punta Cana. But Honda Classic T8th, Valero Texas Open T17th, RBC Heritage T25th, and then he just had a T11 this week. So, that's 4 top 25s in his last 5 tournaments. Wow. 1 top 10, 1 close to top 10.
You can't deny that form anymore. It's not an aberration.
It's solid, and I think he's getting to the point where he's probably not really being looked at as he's solidly in that sleeper category still, but he's showing like solid finishes right now. So if you're looking for a 6 of 6 lineup with somebody maybe on the cheaper side,
cheap,
like he's right there. He's somebody to consider. Obviously before that he was coming off some pretty poor play, but maybe he's got something figured out here, and he's got a few finishes now to show that consistency. So somebody to keep my eye on anyways.
I like it.
Yeah. So
I third the stock up.
You third that. Oh, thank you. And some of the times I give these stock ups and the guys win the next week. So I'm just throwing that out there.
It's a trend.
It's a trend.
It is a trend. Just
if we're doing stock up, stock down on our stock up, stock downs, I should be on
your
the stock
is
up. My stock down is somebody that I honestly have never had a very good feel about, but you guys are always talking about him. It's Cam Davis.
I would say especially Adam, but I do jump on every once in a while.
So Cam Davis, he missed the cut this week. He's only got one top 30 finish in his last 6 starts. So like, where is this?
You say let's pump the brakes.
Well, yeah, like I'm just waiting for it. I keep noticing his name on the leaderboard and it's never very high up there.
Well, just searching for your picks. Ooh.
Yeah, there's a reason I'm scrolling down. No, I just, again, these guys, Cam Davis is probably like, well, he is higher ranked in the world than Camilo Villegas, but he's just maybe different expectations for somebody like Cam Davis, right? Like Adam has told me, he's got all the talent in the world. I'd just like to see it kind of play out more often and result in higher finishes. And right now, it just doesn't seem to be. So, let's go, Cam.
Yeah.
A little bump here.
He's fallen down the Cameron rankings pretty good, I'd say, in the last couple months.
Who's above him? Who's surpassed
Cam
him?
Smith.
The
guy
sure.
I feel like you're going to be talking about moving up. Like, do you want the natural segue? Or I was trying to set you up there, but
I forgot who I was talking about. No, I was fixated on Cameron Davis's. I'm looking at his previous results here, and because I feel like I have to go to bat for my boy.
I was going to say you're just so rattled about this Cam Davis
am so rattled.
thing.
But you just scroll through his official golf ranking, and it gives you kind of all the tours here, and it's a handful of missed cuts. But I have fallen in love with his swing and with like his potential.
Mm-hmm.
But it's at a certain point. I mean, he got a third at the Amex way back at the start of the year. Besides that,
got top 20 at Pebble.
Yeah, I mean, I still feel like I want to play him, especially on these longer courses coming up, if he's in the field. But it might just be like, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if I've lost more money rostering a guy than Cameron Davis this year. Like, I don't know, like, because I play him pretty much every week. But I have been playing Sam. Craig can back me up on this. Sam Burns, I've been playing that almost week in, week out.
We group those two together a lot. We talk about how they get the boatloads of potential they both have and that they will break through here. I do think that, I agree, I think, with the stock down, because I think maybe we are a little bit high on him. But what he does well are, like he's 10th off the tee strokes gained. He's good on approach. He's top 60. I think that has fallen some, but his ball. He's such a good ball striker, and I think that's the reason that we kind of feel like he does pop. But yeah, I do think it's definitely a pump the brakes.
I hope this doesn't throw too big of a wrench into your U.S. Open one and done plans, Adam.
It doesn't, but I mean, going back to the West Coast, closer to Australia, maybe more windy conditions. There's things I like.
It's a Pacific Ocean play.
He is a Pacific Ocean play for sure. But no, that's not. You didn't find that nugget there. I can see you searching.
Keep digging.
Yeah, keep digging. Okay, moving up. Here's a segue. Am I moving up? Cameron Tringale.
There it is.
There we go. Finished T3. And I'm going to go down a little bit of a rabbit hole here, guys, but stay with me for a second because this is good. Tringale is 33. He's 33 years old. He's been a tour regular since 2010, playing at least 22 events every year except for pandemic year 2020. He has 3 second-place finishes in his career, 4 third-place finishes in his career. He's made $13.7 million. And after this week, and this is from Adam Schupak at Golf Week, he has officially become the golfer who has earned the most PGA money without winning an event.
I mean, that's a like stat you never want to have, but at the same time, there's worse things to have your name on.
Clear, like recent bias to it with purses
with
going
how
up
much
every
purses
year.
have grown. Yeah. But like it's better than being some guy who hasn't won and is not the one who's made the most money.
Yeah.
So if you're like hanging out with a bunch of golf friends and you want to have like a fun fact, you could pull out the Tringale fact. I don't know. It's
fun fact.
For you. Yeah. Oh, you guys, fun fact for you? But coming in, he had a 13th at Honda. He had a 9th at Valero. T3 here. Another guy I love to play in DFS. Would love to see him get his win, but now he is. Well, no, he's in his early 30s. He's playing really well. I'd love to see him get it this year because he's trending really well. He's been playing well.
And he is rich.
Yes.
He's rich.
I was actually thinking coming into this week, I'm like, man, Cameron Tringale, like, can he keep this up? Is he playing above his head? And I've kind of felt this way for a little while, but I'm still riding the wave. So I think I've just accepted I'm gonna ride the wave till it crashes, and you know, I'll be a. If it crashes and you have a bad week on him, he's done well for so long that I feel like he deserves to be continue as a play.
Coming into this week, it did feel like kind of the veteran Sam Burns of like, will he pull it down, like get the win coming down the stretch on Sunday, which still remains to be seen for Tringale. But
I know I kind of missed what he did at the end there, but he was playing pretty well in the middle of his round.
He was playing really well. Yeah. He missed a putt, I want to say on 13, one of the par threes on the back nine.
He had bogeys on a couple of
13, 15 there.
Yeah. And then I think he birdied 18 to kind of get his final.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right? That's right.
But you know what? Good. I mean, he was 68 on Sunday. He moved up the leaderboard. Good tournament. A good day.
So guys, moving down. This one stings a little bit. Antoine Rozner playing on the European Tour. Because of his salary, he was the most expensive guy in European Tour DFS this week. He was my first pick on our year DFS show. I just said, if it's not broken, don't fix it. In his last 8 events, he had 2 wins and 6 top 20s. So 6 top 20s in 8 events. He hadn't missed a cut in 15 events. And the wheels came off in like a dramatic fashion, which I haven't really dug too much, but I haven't found out why. But on the 3rd hole of the day on Thursday, he carded a 9 on a par 5. And then like his tournament was shot. But even removing that score, he's only 1 under through the rest of his 36 holes.
This is a resort course.
This is a resort course. The cut, you had to be -4 or better to make the cut. He was still only -3 if you took that 9 away. So yeah, he missed the cut. He finished 129th. I don't know if I've seen a golfer in recent memory with such good form perform so badly. It's like the DJ 80 almost, but I feel like he didn't even have good form coming into that. So Rozner is my stock down. He just tricked me on that one this week.
Fool me once.
I'll see if he's playing next week. Okay, guys, I think that kind of wraps up our Valspar.
I got a couple that we didn't get to.
I got a couple things too. So go ahead, Craig.
Just real quick, Abe Answer, 5th place, good week. You know, Adam, I think he was a pick of yours going into the week. Had been you kind of spoke about how he's been getting a lot of kind of top 25s, top 20s. This, I think, I want to say it's his best finish in a little while, but still looking for that breakthrough win. But this, I think, is on the right path. And then Joaquin Niemann, another guy, a little bit lower in the top 10. He was tied for 8th, but good week, not a great week. He was 1 over on Sunday, so I'm sure he would have liked to finish a bit stronger. But good week for Joaquin. Maybe he's getting a little bit of form here.
I wanted to move over to the Lpga, where the HSBC Women's World Championship was being held in Singapore. Hiju Kim came storming back today, or I guess it was actually yesterday, or in the middle of the night. Whatever it was. Shot a final round 64 to come from 5 back. Ultimately won by 1, posted, and watched Hannah Green, who was actually up by 1 with 2 holes to play, go bogey with I think 2 3-putts to play herself out of it. Patty Tavaktanakit, the recent major winner, she fired a final round 65 to finish in the T3 with Inby Park, who was the tied for the 54-hole leader. And Inby Park shot a final round 70 to finish in T3 there. So, I didn't get to watch much of it as it was in the middle of the night. Interesting note about Hiju Kim. She, in her 3rd round, she fired an even round 72. She had 6 birdies, 6 pars, and 6 bogeys. I don't know how often that happens, but she obviously, she was saying that most of her bogeys were from short missed putts, and she just needed to focus more on the short putts, and obviously she did that. She went bogey free 64 on Sunday to win it. So got something straightened out there.
And this is the first of 2 events
In Singapore, I
the
believe
Pacific?
so. Yes. Are they both in Singapore?
I'm not 100% sure.
No, not either.
But I did see. Did you guys see the highlight of Lydia Ko go like off her competitor's ball to get the eagle, and in the
Yes, I
on
did see
18,
that. Yeah,
a little ping pong action.
yeah.
That's
Didn't see
cool.
that.
Take it how you can get it.
Yeah.
Okay, does that do it?
I feel like you guys said a couple things each, but that's it. That's what we got.
I think that
what we
that
got.
clears me out. Yep.
That's what
Wells
we got.
Fargo next week. Pretty strong field.
Wells Fargo next week. Yeah, good field. Quail Hollow. For the top 5, as we said, teeing it up. The DJ will not be there, but we got a lot of big names. It'll be a good one. Our preview is already out on YouTube, so go check that out. Thank you for listening to our podcast. Make sure to rate and review. As we say, if you review, we're going to put it at the top of the show, Yeah, put something clever in there. We'll put it right at the top, and everyone will listen to it.
We'll see if it is clever. And yeah.
I was looking at some of our podcast stats, guys. Charlotte, North Carolina was our most downloaded spot. So there's someone on someone PGA Tour Pro is a big Grandstand Golf fan, telling all the friends and family that's already over there.
Wells Fargo, they're out there getting early practice, I guess.
And it might be Kevin stock up, stock down. Either that. And is it going to be me, or do I need to kind of get revenge on this guy? I'm just saying, it's our most.
They're looking for that
spot
extra
in the
boost.
US.
They're looking for that, yeah. That confidence
looking for
builder
that
going
extra
into the week. Maybe it's Rory. It must.
Oh, Greg, don't you would love that one.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what my one and done pick is this week. You never know. You never know.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
Check out the preview video for how good Rory is at this golf course.
Check out our preview video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at Grandstand Golf. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and we will see you again next week. Take care.
Yeah, have a good
Take care,
week, guys.
everyone.
Be safe.